Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Shang-Chi Bricks. I'm Alex. So with that, we have already talked about my favorite movies of the year. Now let's get into my most anticipated movies of 2026, which is next year. I'm very excited to start this video because it's another one I'm really excited about. If you have not checked it out already, I ranked all 2025 movies I saw, so please check that out. That is a pretty fun video. It is long, but you can skip to the movies you want to hear about. But here we will be talking about the future, so let's get started. Before we get started officially, this is my top 10 movies I'm the most excited about to see in 2026, but eventually there will be some form of an honorable mentions YouTube short where I'll talk about some other movies I'm a little interested in. I was thinking of putting it into this video, but I think you'll just have to wait until that YouTube short comes out to see what other movies didn't make this list, but you can still find out if I'm excited about them or not. So now let's officially get started. Alright, in 10th place is Clayface. Now, this is a new, obviously, DC movie. I think I just want to start by saying I do think it is a bit of a weird choice for, the first Gotham-based movie to be Clayface, but I think that's also going to be really interesting at the same time, because Clayface is someone who has never really been done before in movies, and I think it'll be a really interesting way to explore Gotham in a new way that hasn't been explored before. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of horror stuff. I've, watched some stuff, but I'm not the biggest horror fan, so this is probably not a theater watch for me, but I'll definitely watch this one when it comes on streaming, and depending on when it actually comes on streaming, we'll see if this actually makes it to my end-of-year list next year, but eventually I will definitely watch this movie. Now, I think that since this is going to have a very different vibe and aesthetic from other different DC projects, that we get to see some other people's voices in the DCU, because I did feel like the Supergirl trailer was a bit it felt almost like it still was James Gunn, even though it definitely wasn't. We'll talk about Supergirl a little later, but I really am excited to see this new form of Gotham with Clayface. I think he's definitely going to be an interesting villain, and this is said to be a body horror thing, and I still am a bit unsure whether Clayface is the right villain to start things off, but I am excited to see Gotham, and I think it will also be exciting to possibly see Nightwing make his DCU debut in here. Next up, in 9th place, is Jumanji 3. Yes, Jumanji 3 is happening this year. In 2026. We will be getting a third Jumanji movie with, third or fourth, depending on who you are, but, Jack Black, Kevin Hart, Karen Gillan, and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson are coming back. I thought, I wasn't a huge fan of the original Jumanji movie, but I really think that particularly the first of the modern Jumanji movies is a lot of fun, and I do feel like a lot of comedy stuff with Jack Black has been going downhill a little more recently.
I am Steve.
And I do like the supporting cast members, like Kevin Hart and Karen Gillan, and I think, it's a very good form of Jack Black comedy compared to, all the other stuff we've been getting recently. So I think it will definitely be nice and interesting to kind of see this again, but, I think it would be cool for the Jumanji universe to come to the real world again, and I think it'll be interesting to see these characters again. I think, I'm definitely excited because I think the Jumanji franchise is something that has just been pretty solid in general, and I feel like it's just kind of a reliable kind of movie franchise that you can go to. I don't think this will be the best thing on the list, and if I watched a lot more movies, I don't think this would be in the top 10, but I can see this one being a pleasant enjoyment. Next up, in 8th place, is Hoppers. Now, I do think for Hoppers that it's gonna be a movie that a lot of people are not gonna watch. This is a new Pixar film, and it's a new original Pixar film. And I think if you just watch the trailers, I think you should really give this one a chance, because I think it has the potential to being a better Pixar original movie. Will it be as good as any of the past and previous amazing, great Pixar movies? No, probably not, but I think it definitely will be one of their better original films. I do think with Elio last year, that wasn't the greatest thing they could have done, but, it also wasn't, the worst thing they could have done. Where I feel like I'm really excited. hoping that Hoppers will be better with Elio. Plus, they've had less delays and like kind of like reshoots and whatnot. And also, just I think from the teasers, the story looks just a lot more straightforward. I'm not the biggest fan of like animals and stuff in general, so I'm not sure if this plot is going to be like the exact right thing for me. But I think this is going to be a pretty solid new original Pixar movie. Next up, in 7th place, is Dune Part 3. Yes, I think some people are going to have this way higher up on their list, and I definitely enjoyed the first two Dune movies, and I think it's going to be really interesting to kind of see where these characters go. It's just such a great, like, sci-fi experience. I love, like, the big worm things and, you know, all the different things. It's always just, like, such an interesting movie. I think just the thing that is preventing it from possibly being higher up. Well, there's two things. One of the things is that it's just a really, really long movie no matter what. And sometimes I do somewhat fall asleep during it, even though they are very amazing movies. And then the other thing is the fact that I heard that the third Dune book, which this movie is based off of, isn't as good. So I think I'm definitely, you know, not like super excited for it in some ways, but at the same time, I have a feeling I know I'm probably gonna like this one a lot, and that's why it's kind of this high on the list. Next up in 6th place is the Super Mario Galaxy movie. I'm really excited that they're doing a second Super Mario movie, and like not super far back from when the first one came out, and I think it is going to be like a lot of fun with the different like worlds they're gonna do. And I haven't played I'm a pretty casual Mario fan. There was a time a couple years ago where I was really into it, so I still remember some of the different like lore and references and stuff. But I'm a pretty casual fan, and even though I am a casual fan, I think there's still going to be a lot of references I still understand, which will be a lot of fun. I'm also probably going to see this one with a lot of friends, which will be a lot of fun, who definitely know all the Easter eggs and references, so that will be a really cool experience to do too. And who knows, we might even do kind of a review and breakdown video together. This is, I feel like, going to be a similar experience to the Minecraft movie, where the story wouldn't be the greatest thing, but at least it'll be interesting and different. And I do like the Mario franchise a lot more than I like Minecraft, because Minecraft just simply isn't something I care about that much. And I think it will be interesting to see new stuff within the Mario world. I think the voice acting has always been pretty solid, except they always pick, like, I feel like some of the most generic stars, like Chris Pratt, Jack Black, and, like, Brie Larson, although I think I am still going to have a pretty fun time with this one. So I am really excited to see where they go, and I can't wait to actually see a new trailer, because this is just a world I love to explore. Next up, getting to the top 5. If you know anything about me, you will know that each of these top 5 picks make a lot of sense. So let's just start with the 5th pick, Mandalorian and Grogu. Obviously, I am a huge Star Wars fan, so of course this one makes the list, and I'm super excited to see a Star Wars movie in theaters again. I think that the fact that it is a Mandalorian movie makes sense for the current generation of Star Wars fans. I have people in my family who started like watching The Mandalorian for the first time, and I think it's really cool just to kind of have that new Star Wars experience with these new characters. Now, I'm a big enough Star Wars fan that I think that the chances of me not caring about this are pretty low, even though it might not be like as good as all the other things. And I think there's still going to be things I enjoy a lot. If you want to see my very excited reaction with one of my friends to this trailer, you can go check out a reaction video. It's one of my shortest long form videos I have. It's only like around like 2 or 3 minutes. So if you want to go check out my excitement for that movie, you can go check it out there. I think with the story of Mandalorian Season 3, that's why it's not slightly higher up. And I think another thing from the movie is that it's just already something that everyone, like, going into it kind of knows what to expect. The next 4 movies on the list, when people are going into it, I don't think we're exactly going to know what to expect, but I think we're used to this kind of Mandalorian thing, and it's going to be pretty similar to the actual show. Now, we're going to pretty much know what to expect, even though I'm sure there'll be a lot of fun stuff in there. Now, I'm also very, very excited for Ahsoka Season 2. I think that could be a lot of fun coming into the new year, and I do like that this is going to be something that introduces kind of that with Thrawn and all this stuff, and like Thrawn is like one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time.
Ouch.
So I'm really excited that they are going to be kind of doing more Thrawn live action. So I think it definitely will be an interesting movie to see. coming into fourth place, I already mentioned it before, is Supergirl. Now, I do think this one might have been bumped up to the third spot a little before the trailer. I really enjoyed the trailer. I did have a reaction video coming that I did with one of my other friends, but that kind of just got lost in the random void of unmade Shang-Chi Bricks videos, because there actually have been a lot of unmade Shang-Chi Bricks videos. But it is interesting because I was really excited for this, and I was really excited for like this kind of crazy cosmic space mod that we've never really seen before, with like weird, wacky characters, but still a different voice than James Gunn did with Guardians of the Galaxy. And watching the trailer, it is very Guardians of the Galaxy, and I do want to say I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that at all. Guardians of the Galaxy is like easily like top 3. The original one's easily top 3 MCU for me. So I'm a huge Guardians of the Galaxy fan, but I was expecting to see something really, really different with this. I do hope we see a bunch of like kind of Justice people cameos in the future, because I feel like that could be a lot of fun in this movie. Like, I was really hoping that we would see Plastic Man, even though it doesn't feel like that's gonna happen. I have a whole video, it's a short actually, I have a short talking about like what I think James Gunn's plans for Mr. Terrific is. I am excited to kind of see more Salvation stuff because of Peacemaker Season 2. But, you know, I think this is something I'm going to be very excited for. I just hope it isn't as similar to Guardians of the Galaxy, even though I feel like there will be more different character arcs, which is nice. And I think it will be interesting to see the explosion of Krypton. Next up, in third place, is the other Pixar movie coming out this year, Toy Story 5. Now, before you absolutely click away from this video, when I say that Toy Story 5 is my third most excited movie, I do want to say, most anticipated movie, I do want to say that the Toy Story franchise is something I definitely grew up with when I was a kid. It's something I've always loved, and I've always just, like, grown up with, and I've always been such a huge, huge fan of the Toy Story franchise. You know, this was my childhood, for sure. And I think this is just something that just means a lot to me. I know it might not mean the same thing to all of you, but that's why we all have our own opinions, and that's why I'm really excited for Toy Story 5. Will it be the best? No, it's not going to be the best Toy Story film. Will it be the worst? It might be, but I love spending time with these characters so much, and I just think that, I don't know, I'm just really excited to see what they do, especially with, like, this iPad kid generation. I think it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with this movie. I think they could take this in an absolutely terrible direction, and I think I did get a bit nervous when they're focusing on Jessie, of all people, and I don't know if this is going to have, like, this is the final movie kind of vibe of it, because I think they're hoping to make more. I just hope it's a fun time where we get to revisit Toy Story characters again, because that's all I really want, because I am a very, very big Toy Story fan. Now, I really hope that they just make this just a fun time to spend with the characters, and I think this could be a very fun movie, and on a personal level, this is going to be something I care about a lot. And in first and second place, this makes a lot of sense, but obviously the 2 Marvel movies coming out, it's Shang-Chi Bricks. Obviously, if you saw my ranking, the best, my favorite 25 movies, which I highly recommend you checking out that video, you would obviously know there was some Marvel at the top of that list, and obviously there is Marvel at the top of this list as well. So in second place, I would definitely say Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think that this is going to be a really cool movie because Tom Holland's Spider-Man is a lot of fun to be around, but I do think that, like, the thing that I'm more excited about this movie is all the other things going on besides Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Honestly, Tom Holland's Spider-Man is always a lot of fun. And we do get to, I think we haven't seen him in a while, and it's going to be cool to see him again, but I'm really excited to see all the other new different things that haven't happened in a Spider-Man movie. I had a video a while ago talking about a bunch of stuff about this Spider-Man movie. That video is slightly outdated now because there has been a lot of other reports about Spider-Man and stuff. So I mean, it's a good video for the time period, but I don't highly recommend checking it out, even though obviously I highly recommend checking out all of my videos. But I do think that it's going to be, like, you know, interesting to kind of see Dustin Creighton direct this movie, because obviously Shang-Chi, obviously this is Shang-Chi Rick, so I'm a huge Shang-Chi fan. I'm not really expecting Shang-Chi to appear himself, but I did love the voice Dustin Creighton kind of brought to Shang-Chi, so I really hope that we get, some great fighting sequences and, some solid storytelling that Shang-Chi had. Now, obviously, there are going to be a lot of really exciting supporting cast members, like the Punisher. I am kind of sad he's not going to be in Daredevil Born Again Season 2, because he's just such a cool and crazy character. And it is interesting that they're putting him in a PG-13 movie, but I think it's kind of just what it is. Now, besides the Punisher, it seems like we're getting Hulk in here. We're going to have some interesting villains, and Sadie Sink from Stranger Things is making an appearance, which will definitely be interesting. It seems like she may be playing a slightly more antagonistic role than we thought, which I think will definitely be interesting. It's not something I necessarily thought would happen, or should happen, but I think she's a good enough of an actress that it could be very interesting. So without further ado, let's get into that first video. Sorry, the first place. And in first place, this should not really be anyone's surprise, Avengers Doomsday. There are about a million possibilities on how they could screw this movie up. How this movie could be absolutely terrible. But there's also a lot on the line, especially if you're a Marvel fan, for this to be an absolutely insane movie. Because, if you think about it, if you're, a Marvel fan at all, you are getting something out of this movie. If you're a modern-day Avengers fan, you're getting that. If you prefer the 2012 Avengers, because Chris Evans is coming back, you're getting that. If you like the Fox X-Men, you're getting that. If you like some of the more recent movies that kind of had a little more of a story than what some of the other MCU films got, like Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four, you're gonna get to see them again. If you like the Wakanda movies, like Black Panther, you're getting that. So I think as much as exciting as that is, that's also how many chances they have of failure with this movie, because they have so much on the line, and it's almost like this movie needs to be 4 hours. But if you're remotely a Marvel fan at all, they're likely going to have something for you. And I really like the idea of there being a new big Marvel movie that just connects all the fans, like Infinity War and Endgame did. So I really hope that they really just kind of do something like that again, where it's a big community kind of event where everyone can get really hyped up about seeing these characters. I think it's also going to be a big payoff to long-time and hardcore Marvel fans, especially people who make all the videos like New Rockstars about breaking stuff down, and I have made plenty of Avengers Doomsday videos on here. I highly recommend you checking those out. Those are pretty good. I'm highly recommending a lot of videos to check out in this video. But I think overall, Avengers Doomsday, the hype of it is almost as exciting as the actual movie will be, just because of all the things it's gonna have. So without further ado, thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. This is my final video of 2025. I promise I'll have a ton of videos coming out in 2026. I'm so excited to see this channel grow in the next year. I hope you'll join me on the next one. Thank you for watching this video, and subscribe if you want to.